inside of me, trying to take my energy. Let me show you just what I'm made of. Simple curiosity, trying to take a bite of me. Let me show you just what I'm made of now.
Each player has a 3 OUs and 3 non-OUs, and it's a kitty versus called Fable first. So he protects, and that tells me right away that he facades, and his toxic orb activates, and that shows I'm right, and I need to get a life. So yeah, I'm going to U-turn, and go into beat stick to take the facade because I'm pro. And yeah, I'm going to get up a layer of spikes knowing that he's got a switch. And Ninetales comes in to try to get me off, even though I know he's going to set up. So I'm going to go back into kitty because I've got a lum, and I thought that he might put me to sleep, but he nasty plots. And I'm just going to get a fake out off, and I'm like, oh shit. So as normal, hypnosis misses, and I take a flamethrower to the face. But that's okay because I got a thick fat, so I can live that. And yeah, hypnosis hits this turn, which is pretty good. And I decide that he's smart and he wants to switch out, and he goes into his null tank. So yeah, I'm gonna U-turn out, and I'm gonna go into Zoobs. So yeah, I'm like, yeah, go Draco, and yeah, I figured it'd kill it, and I were right, because you know it's UU. So yeah, so that dies, and now I'm like, what's coming in, and it brings in a gas Staraptor, and this thing's an annoying old game. So yeah, I've got a switch, and beat stick's gonna come back in because he's pro, and he comes out looking pro, and yeah, and he takes it like a pro. So he quick attacks for some reason, and yeah, I don't know what he wants to do, so I'm just gonna pay back to get some damage, and he ends up going into Mantine, and I don't like Mantine because it's not pro, and I reckon it'll confuse Ray, so I'm going to switch out. There's not much I can really do, so I go into Kitty, and he just aquarings, and I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, I'm going to fake out, and that's what I do. And then I realise that does actually pretty much nothing, and I'm like, no. So I'm just gonna, he's gonna bring in his gay bird again. I'm like, no, and I return it, and it doesn't even do off. So yeah, I'm like, close combat there. But no, he quick attacks again, and I get a free switch, and I'm like, But no, he's gonna bring in like fire, and I'm gonna thunderbolt it because I'm not pro. And Zoobs is gonna come back in to drop his attack, and then I'm like, no, because it's mixed fire. So now I'm like, pretty annoyed that I've got to fodder Zoobs, but I do anyway. And I bring out Llama because it's pro, and get a curse up after a cross chop. So that's not too bad. And I'm like, don't get a crit. And yeah, he's gonna Thunderbolt, so that's not too bad. And I'm able to get Moonlight up, and so I do. I Moonlight, and I go all the way up, and after leftovers I'm left 2 HP away from max. So I'm not happy that he's trying to bolt me again, and I just pay back and try to get a KO. I'll try to get as much damage, and it does KO because the +1. So yeah, so Gaybird comes back in, and he's got his everlasting intimidate, and I'm like, you know what, I don't actually care about close combat, and he just Brave Birds. So I'm going to take a Brave Bird, and then after recoil I'm going to KO with payback. So, and then I've got a big smile on my face because there's no more intimidate from that Gaybird. So now Eclipse brings out his Fable and just facades me, and that's going to KO at this point. So I'm like, need more pro. So I bring out Cheap Shot because he's pro. and I've said a lot about pros, yeah. So yeah, fake out and then cross chop KOs, which is pretty good, and I'm glad that I hit. And Ninetales is gonna come back in and stay asleep and fall to the almighty cross chop. And then his last guy is Mantine, and yeah, that can't really do anything at this point, so he just runs. So good game, I guess, and he doesn't have a YouTube, so yeah, bye.